I'm Angela Bedard-Haughn, Dean of the College of Agriculture and Bioresources and a professor in the Department of Soil Science. I'm also what some might call a soil nerd. Seriously, I have this just sitting here in my office. Soil is far more remarkable than most people give it credit for. It performs a whole bunch of ecosystem services. Yes, we all know soils are key for supporting plant growth, but soils also play a crucial role in global water and important nutrient cycles, in particular, carbon and nitrogen cycles. Carbon and nitrogen are essential for plant growth and ecosystem function, but can be problematic when mismanaged by humans, for example, contributing to greenhouse gas emissions. We hear a lot about soil carbon sequestration as one way that agriculture can be part of the solution when it comes to climate change. And you may be wondering, what exactly is soil carbon sequestration? That's basically where atmospheric carbon dioxide, that's all around us, is fixed into plants through photosynthesis, and some of that fixed carbon ends up stored in the soil as plant residues are decomposed by a feeding frenzy of soil fauna. Now, on the prairies, we celebrate the no-till success story as an early example of carbon sequestration success. This was a widespread change in tillage practice that left more plant residues on the field after harvest and served to not only increase soil carbon, but also drastically reduce erosion and conserve water and nutrients. That's great, and we continue to encourage no-till as best practice for carbon storage. But we know that carbon storage varies a lot across a field and among regions, and we're always looking for ways to sequester more carbon. Now, as the urgency for ways to reduce atmospheric greenhouse gases continues to grow, and we want to be strategic about managing agricultural landscapes to store more carbon, soils researchers are digging deep. Get it? Digging deep? To understand what drives soil carbon dynamics across the landscape. How much is stored? Where? Why is there more here versus there? And how long is it likely to stick around? This is part of what my research team does. Tackle the landscape variability challenge. For example, we're looking at soil carbon sequestration in depressions or ponds in the landscape and how soil and management factors affect that carbon. We're also looking at ways to better model spatial variability through something called predictive soil mapping that combines knowledge of how soils vary across the landscape with computer science machine learning techniques, basically to map that variability. Collectively, these projects, along with a whole bunch of other cool stuff my colleagues are doing, will allow us to better understand the variability of soils so they can be managed more effectively according to their properties, and so we can better track changes in soil carbon over time. Next time you're driving through the countryside, look closely at the fields around you. It may look flat, but there's more happening below ground than you might think.